Good afternoon. It's time to get started. Hello there, Raider. You are indeed first. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Let's take down the starting soon screen and jump right in. So, it feels like it's been way longer than it has since I last did this, but that's just because there's been so much going on here. But the only thing that I have done between streams is to move the rover on Minmus. Because I believe the last thing that we did on stream last week was to move the Minmus Science Outpost, the SMRT Outpost. And we had our expedition on the rover, the Piglet 2 rover, and I wanted to bring that to the outpost. So, drove 60 kilometers on Minmus and only rolled the thing once. So things are actually okay. So let's take a quick look at our current state of affairs. Yeah, this is the only available contract, and it's not one we're going to do anytime soon, so we're going to ignore it. But yeah, active, we have some rescued Kerbals that we need to send home. Actually, Dan Bear Derp hasn't even been rescued yet. That was another one that was redeemed by Elric the Troll King. So yeah, he's responsible for these. But yeah, we need to bring these guys home. Danbear Hoglet, Piglet, and Keelan Musk are all aboard Arcadia Station, and if we bring them down to the surface, we get about 57,000 Spaceos each for those contracts. So we're definitely interested in that. Here's a contract that we can do that is worth a whole lot. Just add a battery onto a satellite that VACCO put around the moon, and then we get a lot of monies for that. It pays for several refuelings of the space station, so I'm definitely interested in that. This one also pays decently and gives us a bit of science and is not too hard. Put a geosynchronous satellite up there. We got some more rescues to do, science data from space around Duna and Moho. Those will come in time. This one here, this is worth talking about. This is the science station that we landed. And I have altered this contract just a little bit. We've been talking about this for a couple streams now. The completion reward used to be about 550,000 Spaceos. I knocked about 150,000 off and removed the requirement that it have 6,000 units of liquid fuel. So basically what I did was I talked to the guys over at Periapsis Rocket Supplies Company, and we did some negotiation, and they saw some reason. They saw that it is absolutely absurd to just have 6,000 units of liquid fuel on a surface station, literally doing nothing, just sitting there. Not useful for anybody, and that it was not worth doing. So we renegotiated the contract price, and so they're going to pay 400,000 Spaceos once we get 3 scientists aboard, which is the only thing that's left. So as far as the game is concerned, we might have to go into the debug menu and tick the box that says we completed it, but we'll make sure that we have all of these requirements met before we do that. So yeah, change the save file there, but that is what we're doing there. And the reason we want all this money is so that we can upgrade our tracking station, so that we can actually use the Sentinel telescope that we launched and actually do something useful with the data that it's getting in, because right now we don't know what the data means. So with an upgrade, though, we can properly analyze it and find some comments. And this one here has been sitting here for forever, and we've really done everything on this. We just haven't done it all with one continuous ship, which is why it hasn't been completed. So we might go ahead and hack that in later, because yeah, we've done far above and beyond what this contract is requiring. But this game being what it is, it's not giving us credit yet. That's fine. So the other thing on the agenda, the big one, our Duna transfer window is coming up in 38, almost 39 days. So we're going to do a little bit of this while we pass the time for the next 40 days, and we are going to design and launch a mission to Duna. We've been to Duna before. we accidentally lost Jebediah on a very early mission, like 6 months ago. Actually, no, it was longer than that ago, because the screenshot that I shared on Twitter an hour ago was from last August. So we're talking about almost a year ago from when I started streaming So, yeah, we're coming up on me streaming for a year, which is crazy. And one of the first things we did was lose Jebediah Kerman. He burned the wrong way trying to come home from Minmus and ended up leaving Kerbin's orbit. And we sent a rescue mission, and they did not have the Delta V to pick him up, but they did do a flyby of Duna. So let's take a look at them real quick. So this time we're going to be launching to Duna deliberately. So let's see. I believe it is Moonshot 2.2 is the one that has Jebediah aboard. And I also need to do another kind of an edit of the save file because he's not supposed to have full fuel tanks. The whole problem. Actually, no. I think he is supposed to have full fuel tanks. Actually, no, because it's telling me that I have Delta V, which I shouldn't. Okay, so for whatever reason, the save file decided that these are full and that he has a kilometer per second of Delta V, which is not the case. He's got nothing. He's got no fuel. So these should be as empty as this. So I'm gonna fix that so that we're not cheating here, because the whole point, that the whole reason he's not home yet and has been out here for 2.5 years with no snacks is that we ran out of fuel, so he can't get home. But then the Rescue 1 vehicle, that's the one we sent with Valentina and I think it was Bob. Oh, where are they? Right here. Yep, Valentina and Bob. So they do have about a kilometer per second of Delta V left, and they have a maneuver coming up in half of a year. They've been out here for a little over 2 years as well, so that maneuver is designed to bring them into range of Kerbin. Yes, that gives them an encounter with Kerbin. It's a really high periapsis though, so yeah, so we'll probably be planning another correction burn later. We definitely have enough Delta V to handle this. We have 1,093 meters per second. This burn is 639 meters per second. So yeah, we will be able to bring them home at least, and we'll get some science from that. But yeah, that is actually coming up sooner than we're expecting it, because we're actually burning through the clock now. So, but this next mission, as I mentioned a few times before, is going to actually be deliberate. So where is Kerbin right now? Right here. There we go. So yeah, we're about to have an alignment of Kerbin and Duna. So very soon we'll be in position to where if we launch, we'll have a nice path where Kerbin is closer to the sun, so it's going faster. So if we basically launch outwards, we'll have a really nice parabolic arc that will just intersect us with Duna. Although by then Duna will be about over here, I think. So that is the plan. Let's start by bringing home some guys and getting some monies, because if we can get some science in this time, then we'll be in really good shape. There's Arcadia Station. Let's switch to that. And we can also kill another bird with the same stone here and get rid of something that has been docked to the station for forever. It looks like we're here just before dawn, it looks like. Very cool. Although those lights are from the space forklift. So yeah, it's very dark. Sorry about that, but we should be getting light soon. Yeah, this thing here, this crew transfer vehicle, which is currently empty. We don't need to put any fuel on it. It's got monopropellant, and that should be plenty for bringing this into Kerbin's atmosphere. This thing is rated for return. We've got a heat shield, and we've got a decoupler, so we can get rid of this transfer stage. We can put 3 Kerbals on here, and it's got parachutes. So the 3 Kerbals that are aboard the rescue vehicle right now that we haven't gotten the credit for completing the contract, we can put them on there, which is good because we only have one of the derp modules left on the station, so we need to resupply those as well in the very near future. So let's go ahead and get that started. Who is it that we need? We need, yeah, the ones with the first green checkmark here: Danbear Hoglet, Danbear Piglet, and Keelon Musk, which was redeemed by Twiglet. So let's find them. Raider, you're aboard there. You're the pilot. Oh, look at that. We've got golden hour from sunrise. That is always pretty. Always worth taking a moment to enjoy that. All right, there's Elon Musk. So we want to transfer crew Elon Musk Kerman and bring him here. He's going through all the tubes. There we go. And here we have Danbear Piglet and Danbear Hoglet. So transfer crew. I love those sound effects. That's from a mod. Ship manifest mod. That's what it is. All right, and transfer Danbear Hoglet. And this might even give us enough, just these 3 contracts, to upgrade our tracking station. So we're gonna see about that. All right, let's undock. And push off. There we go. Yeah, this has some nice big RCS thruster blocks on it. And we have, let's see, engineer, pilot, scientist. Okay, so Danbear Piglet is a pilot, so he can point retrograde for us. All right, and now full thrust with our RCS thrusters, and good, our periapsis is going down. That's exactly what we want to see. It looks like we will likely even come down on the day side, so that's great. Oh, we should have taken this battery off, because that's a battery we can take to the that satellite around the moon. That's exactly the battery it needs. That's all right. All right, let's go ahead and speed the game up a little bit. We're gonna aim for the same about 32 kilometers that we usually do. There we go. A lot more precision than we actually needed. Okay, so let's now turn to the side and make sure our staging is good. Yep, let's decouple that. And point retrograde again. Now that will catch the atmosphere and be blown to the side so we won't collide with it. Here we are coming down towards the surface, and we are entering the atmosphere now. All right, let's see what it looks like from in the cockpit. Yeah, this is a much fancier cockpit than the regular derp modules. Oh, that's right. Danbear Hoglet is a girl Kerbal, because the whole idea that Elric had was that they were representative of my 2 twin kiddos, and there's a boy and a girl twin, so pretty hilarious. Nice view out that window. That gives kind of a sense of how fast we're going. About 2.2 kilometers per second. Sure is quiet in here. I mean, you guys are excited, but, like, say something, guys. Uh-huh. Oh, that's cursed. Look at, we can see inside of her eye. Ah. Ah. Oh my. Okay, let's no, nope. I like this view. This is a good view. Oh, we're getting some of the re-entry effects. Oh, this is the view from 50 kilometers above the surface. There we go. Yep, you can see the flames that way. Let's do that. There we go. Get the UI out of the way. Yeah, we can see the nav ball here. This is making me excited to install the raster prop monitor mod and do missions fully from the cockpit. That is coming in the future. At least now there's some sound. Yeah, don't pull that handle. Not right now. There's Dan Bear Piglet right there. There's all too accurate, nearly white hair. See the throttle. That's actually functional. It's a shame the base game doesn't have more functional props inside of the cockpit. I'm really hoping that Kerbal Space Program 2 goes all out for that. I wasn't planning on doing a real-time re-entry, but I'm having fun with this. I hope you guys are having as much fun with this as I am. This is a different craft than our usual for re-entry, and this has been... Oh, there goes the ion trail. So we should have contact with the surface again. Let's bring this back up so we can actually see. And let's take a look outside again. Whoa! The camera is going nuts. There we go. I think it was unwinding all of the mouse movements that I did. I think that's what that was. Weird. All right, let's just go pure ballistic and aerodynamic. Yeah, we can speed this up a little bit here. And yeah, let's enjoy this from this view. Can't see the ground anymore because it's behind us. All right, we're 3.5 kilometers up. At about 2.5 kilometers above the ground, we're going to deploy the chutes. There we go. All right, we have full deployment. Whoa, there they go. Those are the chutes. Yeah, we had some high G-forces there for a moment. Felt the ship shake. Yep, can't see anything but the chutes right now. Yeah, we're definitely overkill on the dirt module. That's a lighter weight pod, and we have 4 chutes. This is a heavier one, and we have 3, and it's coming down just fine. We're 50 meters above the ground. 20, 10, and we have touchdown. All right, Keelon Musk, Kerman, Dan Bear Piglet Kerman, and Dan Bear Hoglet Kerman, welcome home. Oh, the white hair was Elon Musk. I've got this grayish brown hair. Still, it's pretty close to accurate, actually. I mean, the facial hair, I've got a full beard. That's a pretty dashing Kerbal, though, I gotta say. All right, recover vessel. We'll get a little bit of money back from that as well. But mostly we're going to get paid for completing these rescue contracts. And there we go. Yeah, 600,000 Spaceos total now. And how much is this going to cost? This is going to cost almost all of it, so we're not going to upgrade yet. I'd like a little bit more of a cushion first, but that is a really good start. So yeah, and so currently we can see patched conics. That's the paths in the map view, and we have a decent range communications array. But if we upgrade, we get 5 times the communications range, and we can see unknown objects and use the built-in maneuver tool. And it's the unknown object tracking that we're mostly interested in, because we need that in order to actually analyze the data that's coming back from the Sentinel, aka the COVID telescope. So let's take a look at mission control. And yeah, so, ooh, here we go. They want us to adjust the position of one of our comsats, and I really don't want to. I like where it is. Rescue Steve from orbit. We're definitely going to accept that. And that will probably get renamed for a viewer redeem in the future. Science data from the surface of Minmus. So, transmit and recover any scientific data from the surface of Minmus. You know, this is so easy. We have science up there, and we can just transmit it. So we're absolutely going to do this. We'll get some money and a tiny bit of science. Yes, we will do that. So let's in fact go look at Minmus now. And actually, I'm going to turn on the drink cam and boozinate in celebration of 3 Kerbals being returned at once. Today I've got Ballast Point's Grapefruit Sculpin IPA, which is one of my favorites. It's a very refreshing one. I'm a big fan. Just open this up and let's pour it into my Star Trek Command glass. Got a bit of foam there. There we go. Delicious. Let's put the can back as well. Alright, that was for Elon Musk, Danbear Piglet, and Danbear Hoglet. All part of our crew now. So let's go to the SMRT outpost and check in with our scientist and our engineer there. And turn off the drink cam, Dan. There we go. Oh, it's nighttime. Yeah, they arrived at night, so as the sun came down. Yep, here's our outpost right here, and here's our rover. And I think the rover still has the Kerbals aboard, so yeah, they're gonna go into the outpost and get some sleep. They've been driving all night. In fact, we can take a look at the rover, Piglet 2. Yep, there's our scientist, Judy Wallace. She's been with us a long time. And our engineer, Optimus Prime Kerman, redeemed by Satan. And let's hit the F3. And, oh, it reset it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, before, it was talking about, yeah, it had gone 120 kilometers total driving. And half of that was the trip home after last stream. So, yep. Too bad it reset it. I don't know why it reset those, but that's all right. Let's put Judy Wallace on EVA. Turn on your helmet cam. There we go. Or helmet lights. And let's get her view. Let's see if this is reasonable. There we go. First person EVA. Okay, that's pretty cool. Get a screenshot of that. You can see the inside of her helmet. And the backs of her eyes, oh my gosh, why? Why can we see the backs of her eyes? Can't see them now, but we saw them for a minute. That's so cursed. A bounding leap. There we go. And will it give me the dialogue from here? I don't think so. She can't reach that. That is a hatch, right? Maybe that's not a hatch. Okay, I think she has to go in there. So let's go back into here. Whoa. Turn around. There we go. This game was not designed for first-person mode. Kind of hilarious. Alright, grab. And climb. And board. There we go. Judy Wallace is aboard. That is scientist number 1. Let's see what this is giving us credit for in Okay, yeah. Build new surface outpost. Everything but have 3 scientists on board is taken care of. We have 1, so we need to bring 2 more scientists here. Now, we're going to bring Optimus Prime, the engineer. Great camera, and let go. Turn on the lights, there we go. Ah! Don't get caught under the wheels, man. Let's do a jump. Look at this jump. Look at our vertical leap. Let's turn on the RCS. The jetpack. Yeah, let's do this in jetpack mode. Whoa. Okay, this is awesome. I really want to do this in real life. Grab and board. There we go. Our first 2 inhabitants of the SMRT outpost. And let's see. Can we do a crew report? We can. Ooh, and we haven't even gotten this before, so this is full science. Crew report from Minimus Greater Flats. The ground here is completely flat. It's really boring. Alright, let's transmit that home. And that will be a contract complete as well. So yeah, let's take a look at these. Contract complete. Yeah, we rescued Supreme Oddity last time. I'm Burke, Keelon Musk, Danbear Piglet, Danbear Hoglet, science data from the surface of Minimus. And yeah, that's all of our notifications. So how are we doing on... Yeah, we have 110 science, and we have 725,000 spaceos. So that is pretty darn good. All right, let's see. Let's go back to Arcadia Station. Let's see who we have aboard, because we might have enough scientists to complete that contract. And that would be fantastic. All right, load these. Okay, we have Raider and Bowsy. There are pilots. Munchie is an engineer. Ulrich is an engineer. I think we have mostly... Yeah, we have 2 pilots and 2 engineers aboard. So yeah, we need to bring some scientists. All right. So let's take a look at our space center then. Actually, do we have... Let's time warp until we're in the sunlight, because I want to be able to see this. I want to see if we have one of those batteries that satellite needs. There comes the sun right there. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Had to stop it to enjoy the golden hour light. All right. So on board here, it's hidden inside. It's clipped into a part, but I don't think it's the right kind of battery. In fact, I think we have some of the radial batteries, and they're built into the nose pieces. That's where I've clipped them, because those are empty pieces. That's the right battery there, but I really don't want to take it off of the space forklift. Although, there's another space forklift at the moon already. What we don't have there is an engineer, but we can take one there. Let's see, where else do we maybe have a battery? Here I am trying to think of ways to cannibalize my space station here. Maybe not the best idea. Alright, let's bring one up. So let's go back to the Space Center, and let's launch 2 scientists and some cargo. Elric, welcome. Redeeming first, but not really, for 2 carbon credits. So Elric, if you weren't here from the beginning, we rescued 2 of your redeems. So Danbear Piglet and Danbear Hoglet, they are both safely on the surface of Kerbin. And Booznate. Alright, I was hoping for that. Here we go. So I've got my Grapefruit IPA, Grapefruit Sculpin from Ballast Point in California. And here we go. Thank you, Elric, for the Boozinate. Very much appreciated. All right, let's see who we have available at the Space Center. Specifically, we want 2 scientists, and we want to take them to the station at Minmus. All right, Astronaut Complex, let's see. Yeah, we have a lot of Kerbals. So yeah, if we were to hire another one, it would cost us 185,000. But by doing these as rescues, we're getting paid to get Kerbals. And we have more than we are technically allowed to have. Like, we wouldn't be able to hire any right now because we're past that limit. So, yep. Alright, so we have Lenzi is a scientist. Actually, let's look here first. Yeah, a couple of these are bugged. Like, we didn't actually ever have a Willy Fisher, so I don't know why he's listed as lost. But, yep, Theopont, Lisman, Bill, and Keith, they all died early on. But assigned, we have Jebediah, who is lost in space, Valentina and Bob, who are also stuck. Elric saying, I'm going to be lurking while I watch The Northman. Oh, enjoy that. I am not familiar with The Northman. But yeah, thank you for the lurk. Enjoy. Raider, Bowsy, our 2 pilots. Manchi, Elric the Troll King, they're the 2 engineers aboard aboard Arcadia Station on the rescue craft. We have Yenster, who needs to be rescued. Shipwreck and Kit are on the Piglet 1 rover on the moon. And maybe we can pick one of them up. But I kind of want to leave them on the Deer Sage. Oh, don't we have one? We already have one, I think. Yep, we have a Deer Sage Kerman right here, who's an engineer. So if you would like to choose a different name, yeah, I think that was the first one you redeemed, actually, Elric. Yeah, we have Deer Sage Kerman from early on. Yeah, we've got Shellhat also needs rescue, as does Steve and Danbear Derp, which is another one of yours. And yeah, Judy Wallace and Optimus Prime are on the SMRT outpost right now. But yeah, available. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 scientists available. We need more scientists. I say we send Supreme Oddity and maybe Lady Elric. Tanger Kerman from before. Yes, you have a Lady Elric. Yep, I think you've got, as far as I know, your whole family here. So you're there, Lady Elric is there, Deer Sage is there, and like 3 of me. So yeah, we've got a lot. Yes. So Supreme Oddity, I think. Yeah, let's make a craft and send some scientists up. And let's not forget to include a battery. In fact, I think we already have a craft ready. Need an Oscar. Okay, we'll do an Oscar. And I think what I'm gonna do is actually refund the Deer Sage one. That way, and this is really for my keeping organized, so you can redeem that again and write down Oscar. That way I'll have it in the redeem list, and that's where I go first, so I don't have to look through the chat and be like, what was that one that I needed to name? Oh no. Because that's what I had to do with the Danbury Derp. I couldn't remember what it was. Oscar's your cat. Oh, very cool. What color is your cat? Crew transporter. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, we can upgrade this. Mainsail. We don't need to. This is fine. We can use this. Yeah, this is the exact craft that we just brought home. So this is a good one to use. Crew. Eric, blonde. Okay, very cool. Eric always wants to be on board. Lindsay, you know, he hasn't gotten to do anything in a while, but yeah, let's send Lindsay. He's a... Nah, let's not send Lindsay. Let's send some of our own guys. We want Supreme Oddity. And let's send Lady Elric. And let's choose a good pilot. Meldorf. Let's send an old pilot. Okay, you know, Eric has been itching to be part of one of these missions for forever. Let's go ahead and let him fly this ship. That's the least we can do. All right, here we go. We're going to launch this, and I think we've been at least 10 days between launches, so let's go ahead and just take this right out to the pad and launch these guys. We're going to put them on the rescue craft, and we're going to send that. Oh, wait. We need a battery. Although I think we have a battery. Let's double check. Yes, that is... If I can get to where it will let me look at it. It will not. It's looking at the fairing, but that is the right battery, so we're going to cannibalize that battery once we get up there, and that'll be fine. All right, let's bring up our flight recorder. Throttle up, stability assist on, check staging. We haven't flown this one in a while. All right, I think we are good to go. We want altitude, acceleration, and dynamic pressure. And we don't have cameras on the outside of this one. This is an older rocket, so let's go ahead and use this. Let's target the fairing base right there, and let's set our position. Let's watch this launch from over here. And auto zoom a little bit better than that. There we go. That's pretty good. All right. All right. I believe we are go for launch. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Man, this one really goes. Vehicle is supersonic. Yeah, I've been tricked before by that cutout of the sound and thought the engines had stopped. We have passed maximum aerodynamic pressure. SRB burnout and separation. And we have main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start. We're going to pitch down very aggressively now. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, let's pitch all the way down to the horizon. There we go. Yeah, this is an old engine now. What is this? The Poodle. All right, we're in space. Let's go ahead and deploy the fairing. There we go. Forgot Lady Elric has purple hair. This texture replacer mod chooses the hairstyles completely at random. And I think Eric's hair is kind of a bluish, but it's hard to tell if that's just the lighting or not. We're gonna point prograde again. And just ride the stage to orbit. Enjoy these gentle arpeggios in the background in the soundtrack. All right, yeah, watching the periapsis rise, which is exactly what we want, and we're going for an apoapsis of about 150 kilometers. Let's choose Arcadia Station as our target and take a look at where we are in relation to that target. Okay, so we're actually pretty good. We're going to want to catch up to it, so we might actually do that with a direct ascent. We'll see. All right, I'm going to go back to regular stability assist mode so that we keep pointing towards the horizon and bringing our periapsis up. Can actually pitch up just a little bit here. 15 degrees should do it. There we go. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Alright, here comes our periapsis above ground. Right now. And once it reaches 70 kilometers, we'll have a safe orbit. Right there. And there's our intersect with the station. Not ideal, but yeah, so we'll probably end up, we have lots of delta V to work with, way more than we need, so we'll probably come to the apoapsis, and we will go ahead and raise our orbit and let the station catch up to us. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Point prograde and warp to apoapsis and just circularize. Or rather, from there we can actually do the whole deal. Yep, this is going to come all the way around. So we're taking the long way, but that is okay. In fact, I think this will be perfectly 2 orbits. Let's test that. Should we test that? Pretty darn close. Okay, let's do that. This is an experiment. So we have the target position at our intersect is exactly on the other side of the planet, which means... No, I don't trust it. It's not as perfect as I think it is. So we're going to go ahead and bring it all the way back around. With some serious patience, we could do the math to have a perfect approach, but I'm not that good. So we build in extra margin to these missions instead. Alright, 6 kilometers, that is pretty good, and then we'll do a correction burn right about here. That's in 1 hour and 10 minutes, so here, this gives us about 5 minutes of lead time. Whoa, all the way around. And let's choose our target as our reference here and point retrograde to our target. Okay. Yep, that's coming up in 3.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and start slowing down and tightening the approach as well. So that is not tightening the approach. There we go. Now we should have a good vector for tightening the approach. Maybe. Not really. We'll come in closer, and that will help. Alright, let's get out of map view and look at the target. There's our station 40 kilometers away. There, now we are tightening our approach. Six kilometers at closest approach. 5. And that's as much as we're getting from here. And it looks like we're going to be rendezvousing in the night side, unfortunately. That's alright. It happens. "20 kilometers away. 10 kilometers away. Let's do another correction burn. "4 kilometers at closest approach. 3, 2, 1.5. Alright, we're coming in very close. Do a serious slowdown here. I want to get rid of this, but I think we're just going to have to leave it in orbit, at least for now. So we're jettisoning that stage. start that engine. Control from here. And activate camera. Actually, let's not activate that camera yet. Come in a little closer. That should be good. We're going to come within 70 meters. I hate how it moves the field of view a little bit when I go into that warp mode. I'm going to skip it for now because of that. Messes with my head. Don't know why it does that. Alright, we're close enough to pick out a docking port. Let's choose this one. Come to a relative stop. Perfect. Now, okay, yeah, here is sunset. Let's choose this camera and point at the station. Perfect. We'll use our RCS thrusters for this. Such a fan of this camera view. I'm glad we decided to use it. All right. Just lining up the final approach here. That should be about perfect. Our plumes are lighting up the sky. That's great. All right, and we have a perfect docking. All right, so now let's transfer our crew. We want to take 2 scientists and an engineer. So let's actually take Lady Elric. Let's just transfer you. Report transfer crew. There it is. Lady Elric, you are coming aboard the rescue craft. Perfect. And also, Supreme Oddity Kerman, you are coming aboard as well. And Elric the Troll King is already there, and he is engineer, right? Yeah. All right, so Elric, I need you to snatch a battery off of the craft we just brought up here. So, yeah, and of course it's dark. Let's turn on your helmet cam, or helmet lights, rather. There we go. And you don't need that. That parachute does you no good up here. All right, time to do a little bit of cannibalizing of parts. There it is right there. Yeah, and there's the battery. That's what we want. Let's go into EVA construction mode here. And pick up that battery and put it... Well, you can't fit it in. Interesting. Okay. Whoa, get away from there. Get away. Uh-oh. Alright, we're going to the Space Center. We're going to see if we can avoid this Kraken attack that is in process. Because that is a bug. Yeah, so that's a problem. We're going to the Space Center. We're going to try to trick the game into not doing that with the physics. And in fact, I'm going to quit to main menu and make a real quick backup of the game before anything goes horribly wrong. Yeah, we don't want that. Give me just a second here. That's terrible. All right, copy, paste, backup, done. All right, resume saved. That whole station was about to shake itself apart. And that is exactly what we do not want. We do not want that at all. All right. Okay, this is nerve-wracking. Let's go. There's Elric. Let's go to Arcadia Station and fly it. And fingers are very crossed. We might have a big boom here. If we have a big boom, then we might have to get a little bit creative. We had a big boom. This is one little piece of the station. Uh-oh. No. This is a bad. This is a very bad. Alright, oof. Oof, oof, oof. The station exploded. This is not optimal. This is not at all optimal. Let's see. What have we got? Arcadia Station plane. Okay, let's see what this is. This is probably, hopefully, an intact rescue craft. Let's check it out. I'm a little bit sad now that we didn't stay to watch it explode if it was going to explode anyway, because that station has definitely shaken itself to pieces. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is still attached to a docking port, so that's something. But what this means is that we don't have full fuel tanks, and I wanted full fuel tanks. Alright, let's see. This is correcting itself. Yeah, we don't even have full monopropellant. Ooh, this is a disaster, you guys. Oh, I really like that station, too. Alright, let's see what else is nearby. This piece of debris. Yeah, Kit, welcome. We just had a Kraken attack on the station. Okay, Eric, you're aboard here, so you might be the one that saves us here. Yes, yes, oh no is right, and I think I'm going to let it stand. I think I'm going to let this be a disaster that has occurred to our space program. I think that's the most interesting way to go, and of course we're looking at it in the dark, unfortunately. What have we got here? Okay, this is Elric the Troll King. So he went outside to pluck a battery off of a spaceship so that we can take it somewhere. And things went a little wrong. In fact, here's that battery. Here it is right here. Yeah, nighttime Kraken attack. We didn't even get to watch it. There's a piece of the station. Okay, this part is intact. That is good. Let's... let's stabilize this. So, yeah, I can't even see this the full scope. Well, basically, the main habitation module ripped itself apart. There was an oscillation, it got out of control, and I tried to real quick go to the Space Center and reload, but nope, it was too late. Druge, welcome. You're here just in time for some serious disaster. Here with the Dadcraft emotes, very cool. So yeah, let's see. What is our orbit? This is in a stable orbit at least. Okay, so we can save this. It's going to take some in-flight repairs, but this is not an unrecoverable disaster. Fortunately, all of our guys are aboard the ship, so let's. Yeah, we might be doing some interesting stuff here. That is intact. This piece, I think, is intact. Let's see. Is there anything in here? No. Nothing telling in the F3 screen. All right, but Eric, you're here to save the day. Eric Uspensky, one of our oldest pilots in the program. And fortunately, he's got some fuel. More importantly, he's got some monopropellant. So, all right. Okay, we need to rename some of these things. They're floating apart too, so that's a problem. Arcadia Station ship. Can we rename this? Because this we want it to be our hub. Let's see. Don't know that we have. Okay, I think we've got a probe core somewhere. Was it a loading issue or was I docking? It was neither. It was an issue. We were in EVA construction mode, which does wonky things to physics, which is why I was tempted to maybe do something with the the save file or something, but that would honestly bring the stream to a halt while I fix that, and I think it's going to be more interesting to just let it stand. All right, let's change the camera to locked so that it quits doing that on me. Okay. And is there a probe core that I can rename here? I think there's one like right here. No. So, yeah, so we're going to let this stand, and this is going to be an interesting challenge now for our space station. And so what can I rename here is the question. Name camera here. Yeah, and of course we are at night, so yeah, it's hard to see. Oh, there's the sun coming up. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Dang it. Maybe this can be somewhere that I rename it. No? Rename vessel? I would like to rename this vessel, please. How bad is it, Houston? It's mildly problematic, Houston. Mildly problematic. All right, well, let's begin this. I still want to launch to Duna today. We still have time for that. Let's see. We've got, yeah, these here. Let's just out. Okay, perfect. And that means that's going to be full. Okay, good. That is almost full. Let's do liquid fuel, and this is that tank. Okay, good. Out. And out. All right, that is now full. So that's good. We got to make a plan. And yeah, these things are spreading, and I don't know that all of them are in stable orbits. I think they are. We have enough altitude that I think we're okay. Shipwreck, welcome. Boozinate. Okay, that might be the problem. That might be what caused this. First, Shipwreck, do you notice my station? Do you notice that there are pieces missing? There was a big boom. A big old boom happened. So let's drink about it. Here's my grapefruit sculpin, grapefruit IPA from Ballast Point Brewing in California. We've already had a shipwreck indeed. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some emergency repairs here. Woohoo for Boom Boom, I guess. All right. Well, yeah. That's the thing. I really like this station. All right, so I undock. Let's see. Yeah, that's Arcadia Station ship docking port. I want to rename this as actual Arcadia Station. That's a little bit frustrating. Your transporter debris. Oh, jeez. Full speed ahead. No. Oh man, that was a big disaster. Let's aim for that thing. And let's activate camera. There we go. And yeah, full speed ahead. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. What have we got? So sad I missed it, says Kit. Yeah, it was something. And shipwreck redeeming rescue my Kerbal, Jordan Kerbal. Is there a story behind that name? Is this a sports ball? Oh no, I know. Okay. It's because of Kit. Okay. I got it. It took me a moment. Very nice. I can get behind that for sure. All right. There is indeed a Kit Kerbal. You know that. Shipwreck, you are sharing a rover on a mission on the moon with him. There's a Jordan emote right there. Yep, you guys are on a mission on the moon. Your whaler's on the moon. You carry a harpoon. All right, we need to tighten up this approach. All right, there we go. You will be. Don't worry. Supposed to be with Burke. Wait, Wales has broken in? Kit, have you watched Futurama? Or are you bringing up an emote that it hasn't loaded yet? Yeah, it hasn't loaded this emote, so I don't get to see it. There it is. It's a whale. Is that a surprised whale? That's amazing. Okay, that's one of the coolest emotes I've ever seen. Not as familiar. Okay, so they have a resort on the moon that tells the tale of the first moon landing, but they don't have all the details right, and they have a bunch of, it's like a Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and they sing this little whaling song. So it's pretty fantastic. All right, let's point retrograde and slow the heck down. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be work for a while, I think. Whoa. So let's just see if we can do this. So this is gonna be our challenge for a little while, but I plan to launch for Duna today. So his command whale, which pops up a randomized whale fact. Oh, I think I saw that. I've only been to one of his streams. Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious. And I think he brought up some whale facts in one of your streams once. One of our friends who watches a lot works at a whale museum and has many facts. Very cool. Well, whales are cool. All right, that is tumbling in space. So this is going to be interesting. And we've tried this before. That's the one that has our last dirt module on it, too. How about that? So the surprise has the whale in the emote. Okay, exclamation point whale in the emote. That's clever. I need to get more emotes. Hopefully over the summer, my wife will have some time, and I'm hoping she'll... Whoa! That is the most appropriate sound alert, Shipwreck. Very good. Oh, it stopped tumbling. That's actually kind of disappointing. I was going to try that challenge. All right, let's move off to this side. I got your back. I was hoping that this would be the one that has the hub on it, although we're probably going to have to launch a new hub. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to be able to salvage every part, but we're going to try. We're going to see what we can salvage of this station. I think that'll be cheaper than launching a new one. And the parts, I think, are largely intact, so... It's Shipwreck redeemed first, but not really first. More first in the way Shipwreck is always first. Alright, yeah, and this is going to use monopropellant for sure. You reset the first crap map today. Oh, good. I was hoping not to have any time to finish my volcano lair. That is what I was hoping for, and that makes my day to know that I am correct. Can you imagine? I can indeed imagine, Shipwreck. Wrecking the ship of First Craft. Alright, let's do this. Also, you're slightly leaning towards no reset. Oh, good. I feel like we are just like getting into the lore part. I'm excited for what we've got coming up. There we go. And let's control from here. Actually, no. Oh my goodness. That is the docking port from the hub. Let's undock and get rid of that. Yeah, this part broke off of the hub. That part is no good. And control from here and activate camera. Agreed. Wait, not to that. Leaves the poop. Oh my gosh. We have fun here. We like to have fun here. Which one is it? Look at this debris cloud. Look at that. Let's see. All right, can I get all of that in the screenshot? No. Because it doesn't do the screenshot. Oh well. Shipwreck told you what I did. What? What did I did? I didn't do anything. I think it's this one. Maybe this one. This is the closest one. I hope it's that one. Let's switch to target and we can check it. I spilled the beans. Wait, Kit, that's no surprise. You already knew that. We already said that only your cows poop. What? Why are we here? I don't want that to be the target. It still has a station, apparently. No, the sheep and ship's wolf farm. Are they still pooping? They shouldn't be pooping. I think they stopped pooping. There we go. Yeah, they stopped pooping. All right, that Oh, geez. Yeah, let's see if we can reach that. That's gonna be interesting. All right. Yeah, we are fully improvising here now. I'm gonna catch up on that in just a minute here. Okay, it says we're going pretty fast towards that. I don't believe it. And I can't read that against the white. Oh, there we go. 4, okay, 5 kilometers at closest approach, 4 kilometers, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's pretty close. 500 meters. All right. Yes. Figured it was time, says Shipwreck. Darn celiac cows. The ship and sheep's wool farm were pooping. Yeah, I thought that was still the case, but apparently that was later changed. No. They stopped long ago, says Shipwreck. We switched them off of gluten wheat. That's right. We have non-glutenated wheat. Yeah, soybean wheat now. Exactly. They're on soybean wheat. That's brilliant. Thought they were on maple wheat. Are they on maple wheat? That's not how beans grow. Okay, but do you understand how Minecraft beans grow? Broke it, man? I thought you were a scientist. Back off, man. I'm a scientist. Alright. We are 3.5 kilometers away. Let's slow down. Yeah, our center of thrust is off. We've got some serious torque from our payload, but that is okay. We're gonna slow way down here. Alright, now we can point back towards our target and take a look at where we're going. Yeah, this camera view especially works better at night when we can't see anything else anyway, so... Yeah, we are... we are off balance here. Whoa. Why are we doing that? There we go. We want stability assist. That's better. And we are burning through our monopropellant too. Yeah, I don't like this. Oh man. What a time we've had. You guys came in just after the big boom. And it wasn't so much a boom as it was a just kind of it shrugged and was in pieces. It was a thing. It was a whole thing. Alright, yeah, we are coming way off course from this thing now. This is really hard to fly. It doesn't really come across properly through the stream just how difficult this thing is to properly maneuver. Alright, we're going to be coming within 2 kilometers. Let's get closer. 1 kilometer. Alright, 300 meters. That's pretty good. Let's turn off our RCS thrusters and conserve some fuel. And turn around, and we're going to be looking up here. Also here, this has it. I need to remember I've got that display now. And so we can use that as our rangefinder because we can't see the station or our target in our camera view right now. So yeah, coming in backwards. All right, 1.5 kilometers away. Yeah, all of the pieces of the station are in different orbits now, so they're scattered. It's quite bad. At least we didn't lose any Kerbals, so that's the thing we can say about it. Poor Elric is just out on EVA still. He was outside when it happened. In fact, it's his fault. We're blaming him. He was out trying to cannibalize a battery from the ship he came up on, or that our new passengers came up on, so that we can take it to a satellite around the moon that needs a new battery, and they're going to pay us quite a bit to put that battery on there. And the ship came apart while he was doing that. The whole station just came apart after he bumped it. That darn Kraken. All right, we're 400 meters away. It's still behind us. All right, let's slow down to a stop. Just a gentle nudge with the engines. All right, and let's turn around and look at our target. There it is. Oh, man. Okay, that is the right one, though, so that's good. Let's turn on our RCS thrusters, and we're using those for this final approach. Oh, good. The sun is out, so we can see it very clearly. That's what's left. That's the biggest chunk left of our station right there. And everything else is just drifting away. So, where should we dock this? Let's just dock it right here. There we go. Set as target. This is one of the things actually I really like about streaming is it does a lot for my attitude in games. Like if I was just playing solo, no streaming, no one in the room with me, just me playing, and something like that happened, I'd probably be cursing up a storm, super frustrated. I mean, it is frustrating, and would be trying to hack the thing back together. But this is a lot more fun. We are working with the disaster as lore, and we're making it work for us. Slow down. It's like if you jump off of a nether fortress without putting on your elytra and just lose all your gear in lava. Really frustrating, but you know, yes, I have to laugh, otherwise I'll cry energy. That's exactly it. All right, well, you know what? We've reassembled part of our station. We have technically done some reassembly. I didn't lose anything. Oh, I thought you lost everything. Oh well, there's always next time. All right. Okay, we can replenish the oxidizer and everything. Let's do that. So we've done one of these on stream. I like to do at least one of anything like this on stream if I'm going to do any outside of stream. Maybe we do all of this on stream, but you lost your stuff, Mr. Lava Scuba Diver. What? What? You read the sign. It says, it doesn't say lava scuba gear. It says Dan has cooties. It's way better. What? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, guy? That's false news. That's fake news. Just empty that one. Okay, there we go. And that should be refilling the RCS tank here. Okay, perfect. We got monopropellant there. Let's take a look at the liquid fuel and the oxidizer. That's the big guy right there. So out and out. Right. I'm glad we had fuel when this happened. So, oh, that's right. You almost lost all your stuff, but Nia, Bowser, and Burke worked to make a tube to your gear. Gotta love those rescue operations. That's good stuff. All right. We haven't rescued any of our guys. Let's bring Elric. Okay, so Arcadia Station ship. It's this one here. So yeah, here's the string of our debris. Look at that. That is something. And it is just spreading out like that. Jeez. Yeah, to your last known coordinates, you spawn back in safety. Very nice. Okay, so that there, do we want to rescue that? I think so. Let's go ahead and pick up Elric. Let's get him to safety. Yeah, now that we've decided to just go with it, I'm having a whole lot of fun with this, so I'm glad that that was the decision. Alright, so yeah, we're pointing this way. That's the main hub right there. Let's set that as our target. It's 23 kilometers away. We might actually want to plan a maneuver for this. Wow. Okay, we're going this way. It's up above us, so this is quite a challenge. Add a maneuver. There are the intersects, so it's not that bad. Did I not plan a maneuver? Okay. Add a maneuver. Oh, cannot add a maneuver. Alright. That's okay. Let's see. Orbit. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's touchy. Alright, we got intersect 1, 37 kilometers, intersect 2, 33 kilometers. Yeah, they are indeed getting farther and farther apart, but the maneuvers to get them back together should be pretty simple, so that's something at least. Let's see, we want to point prograde. And let's take a look at this. 423. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It says 0.0 kilometers. And that was using just tiny little nudges of the RCS thrusters. So you've got a 30-minute orbit ahead of you, man. Mr. Elric, sir. Yeah, so that's the trick here. We could brute force it with all the fuel, and that's what we did with the first piece. But they're far enough apart now that it makes a whole lot more sense to just do a full orbit each time. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and warp. And yeah, they are now a ring around Kerbal. Love it when a maneuver leads to a collision course. Only when you want it to. Okay, and yep, that's going to bring us within 44 meters. That's really good. Of course, the calculation changes as soon as we're on rails, but it'll go back. Well, yes. Yep. All right, we're 10 minutes away. Yeah, I think one of the things they're working on for Kerbal Space Program 2 is better on-rails behavior and time warp and all of those calculations, in particular so that you can be under thrust while in time warp, because that's a big deal. Alright, let's switch back to target reference. Yeah, we're going 23 meters per second relative to the target. That is not bad. And of course it's nighttime again. Let's go helmet cam. There we go. Probably a terrible idea, but we're doing it. Alright, time warp, let's get close. A shorter little lag spike. There's sunrise, good. Because our station is significantly smaller than it used to be and way less cool looking. Dang it. Enjoy your lurk, Kit. Alright, is this actually doing it? You have EVA propellant. I'd like you to use it. What is going on here? There we go. Okay. Yeah, we had an issue there, it looks like. It was not giving me control, but now we have control back, so we are good to go. Alright. Thanks, game. Jeez. Alright, back to helmet cam. Maybe. Maybe that's not a good idea. Helmet cam is being strange. Alright, let's put you on this science module here. I think that's the safest bet. And that will be 2 assets recovered. He seems to not mind. He's having a good time. Alright, let's actually put you in this just passenger module right here between the science modules. And board. Okay. Elric the Troll King is safely aboard. Now, here's the question. I really thought I would have... It should be something on here that I can use. I thought there was another probe core, and I want to rename this as the actual station. That's all right. We're just going to have to remember which one it is. It's the second one in the back. All right. Let's take a look at this and see what it is. We need to investigate each of these pieces and see what we're working with. And, yeah, that is debris now. I wish I could rename it as debris, but nope. Okay, so back to the map. And we want to be this way. Okay. Yep. So the plane is in front. That's the rescue ship. And that's in back. And that's the actual station that we're putting back together. Let's take a look at this piece. That's probably one of the spokes from the wheel. And I'm going to give myself a hydrate here because I am very thirsty. I have a drink of my cherry limeade. Oh, and this is the one that has Eric on it. That's good. Delicious. Boop. Okay. Right, this way. Whoop. And this is what we are aiming for, so set that as the target. And yeah, we have a very close encounter right here. There we go. So I think if we just point prograde, and burn a little bit, we should be fine. Let's make sure we are... Yeah, we're going to want to get rid of that, but let's not do it yet. Control from here. Yep. And orbit. That's what we want to be prograde from, is orbit. Otherwise, we'll have an issue. Hilarious. Okay. And let's just give it a little nudge. And yeah, that is exactly what we want. Because it dropped our orbit. $10, $5. Okay, 1.2 kilometers. That's how close we're going to get. And again, that's in another 32 minutes, so a full orbit basically. Let's warp to about 6 minutes before that. Should be plenty of lead time. Yeah, so it looks like for a little while we're going to have a little bit of station repair in our stream itineraries. But after a little bit of this, we're going to go and we're going to make and launch our Duna mission. Okay. Let's point retrograde to our target, which we are coming up on. Less than 5 kilometers away. Right, and we'll tighten this approach as we slow down. All right, let's time warp a little closer. It's not giving me an accurate read on the Kerbal Engineer UI. That's all right. We've got this. And in fact, let's go ahead and undock this now and see if we can deorbit it later. All right, so we want to control from here and activate the camera. There we go. Let's back to this. Where did that go? There it is. All right, we need to point towards our target and maneuver on in. And there it is right there. Oh, I hear one of my cats wants in. Let's keep an eye on our fuel. There we go. RCS thrusters on. And this is not as unbalanced a load as the last one because this one doesn't have the derp module on it. All right, here we come across to the day side again. We're getting a lot of good looks at Kerbin today. Eric, you were not anticipating this for your mission today. Your return to active duty, were you? It's been a while since he's gotten to fly with us, and he's been so eager, and now look what he gets to do. help repair the station. All right. Using a lot of monopropellant on this, though. There we go. That should bring us 64 meters away on closest approach. That's pretty good. Hard to remember sometimes that every path through space is a curve. You never go in a straight line. Sometimes it feels like you're going in a straight line, but even that just means that the curves are parallel. All right, let's bring this one around to this side. Slow down. Let's dock it right here. Yep. Oh, this poor station. Oh man, we are just eating the monopropellant here. Good thing we've got a lot in that other tank. Yeah, this thing has big RCS thrusters on it, but they are hungry ones too. Whoa! Come on. Go in easy. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this handles very differently from the space forklift. Really want to get a joystick set up for doing stuff like this. That would be a lot of fun. I've never played this game with a joystick. I've hardly played anything with a joystick, actually. All right. On the way in for the final approach. This is stressful, but fun. Okay, here we go. And we are docked. All right. Okay, so now we have rescued Elric and Eric. Oh, boy. Let's see. Arcadia Station ship. Let's do Arcadia Station repair. And will that work? Okay, good. Now we have that labeled properly. And this are debris. Those need to be sent packing back through the atmosphere of Kerbal. Let's take a look at what it's actually calling our Arcadia Station. This is the actual hub, I believe. Let's see what's left. Yes. That's it. That's all. We've got the spoke. The spoke is intact, but the hub itself, that all got ripped apart. Drew says, imagine flying this in real life. Seriously, though, that's exactly, like, it doesn't properly translate through the stream what's going on with the controls, really. Like, you can look here at the roll, yaw, and pitch, but that does, even that, it doesn't give a feel for where the torque is and how quickly it responds. It's this is interesting. All right, let's go for it. Let's take Arcadia Station repair, and let's pick up the space forklift and take it out to pick up that piece. Or we should leave it. We should leave it for now. So we got that piece, that piece, that piece, and that piece. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do between streams is deorbit these pieces so that they are not cluttering this up anymore, because they're a little bit confusing, so that whenever we see something that says Arcadia Station ship, we can go for it. And oh, we still have those escape pods. Those are still good, but they couldn't get to the station. So that those are pieces that we need to go out and get and bring back to the station. So station repair is going to be part of the itinerary for a little bit here. But let's switch to, it says Arcadia Station plane because of the cockpit there. It's a plane type, so it's a plane that came off of Arcadia Station as far as the game is concerned. But this is our rescue ship. This is Rescue 3. Yeah, and it's got a piece on it too. And there it is spinning. And this has our pilot Raider, Lady Elric, and Bowsy, our co-pilot, and Supreme Oddity. So we were going to take Supreme Oddity and Lady Elric, who are two scientists. We're planning to take them to Minimus, and I think we're still going to do that. So let's undock from this. Or should we take this with us? Yeah, let's take this back to the station. Arcadia Station Repair is our target, and we want to point prograde on orbit because that is how that's going to work. Drew says, ice race cars, not nearly professionally. That is okay, but racing games I'm horrible at because you cannot feel the car, so kind of the same, but you're rocking this game. Thank you, Druge. That is cool. I've heard of like courses that you can take as just a regular guy to learn how to race cars, and that does sound fun. I will say though, there's something to be said for, you know, like pilots spend a certain amount of time in the simulator before they get to sit in a real airplane, right? And I have to say that playing video games, playing some racing games has helped my driving skills at some critical moments. Like, you can't feel the car, but some of the reflexes and reactions do translate. So I've had some instances where I've gone a little bit fishtailing in the snow, in the ice, and from playing some racing games, been able to recover from that. Supreme Doom! Hello! You missed a disaster that we were recovering from. The space station exploded. See this that we're docked to? We were docked to the space station, but this part came off, and so did a lot of other parts, like this one. Streamden says, my dad and sister race cars in a small parking lot racing circuit. They are uber cool. That's cool. That does sound like a lot of fun, I will say. All right, let's pin that and pin that. There we go. And let's see if burning prograde does the trick. And I think it will. Yeah, because we want to take this back here so that we can refuel. We definitely want to do this with full fuel, what we're doing next. I'm sending you on a mission, Supreme Doom. Before this all went wrong, you were going to go on a mission to a science station on Minmus. Aye, aye, Captain, says Supreme Doom. Don't like that. I go here. Well, that just changed it. Why did that change it? Interesting. Okay, so we're trying to get back to Arcadia Station Repair. Drew says, Elric did some wrong stuff on EVA and the whole thing flew apart. Yes, we're blaming Elric, even though it was definitely the Kraken and not Elric. I don't think Raider is currently here. He was here before. He's going to be sad that he missed a Kraken attack. Supreme Oddity at your service. Right. Yeah, I don't like that approach really at all. Interesting that it just, as soon as I add a maneuver, no matter what, it changes what it says that's going to be. That's very strange. I don't trust it. Okay, I think it's because it says that that node is an hour from now. Okay, that's because this is the way we're orbiting. Okay. All right. That's better. I like that better. And let's see if we can improve this a little bit. We sure can. All right, we can improve it a lot a bit. And I think that's about it, actually. Whoa, that's wonky. There we go. Let's bring that around. Okay. Another thing that doesn't really translate well through the stream is when the mouse does weird stuff like that. All right, that is an 8.3 meter per second maneuver in 40 minutes that will take us there. Blame Relit. Ground control to Major Dan. This is ground control to Major Dan. There we go. I don't dare go farther than that. I don't want to get DMCA'd. Alright, let's... So, we were also discussing a little bit Supreme Doom. We can sing as well. A little bit. Duet stream. Yeah, maybe. We could do something like that. We were talking about... I think we've talked about this before, and attitude on stream. And when something goes horribly wrong, my attitude when I'm just playing and when I'm streaming are completely different. Like, if something like this had happened, my entire space station just shrugged and fell to pieces, and it was just me in a room by myself playing the game, I'd probably be frustrated enough, I'd maybe rage quit for about 10 minutes, go get a drink, come back, and then try to hack it together or fix it there, and I'd be all grumbly the whole time. But it's happening on stream, so I decided, you know what? Let's go with it. This is lore. This happened. And now one of our missions is to fix it. And I'm really glad to have made that decision because this is actually really fun. Yeah, stream attitudes are... Do you know Meatloaf? Not as well as you do. Not even close. But yes, I do. And you know it. Sound like a total flighty girl on stream sometimes. Your streams are really fun. I like your streams. Alright, this is going to be an interesting burn too because our center of gravity is way off with this thing docked onto our back. So we're going to have a lot of torque. It's going to be interesting. Let's get closer to the maneuver. There we go. And let's point towards it, and we're going to burn very gently because we probably won't be able to do it all at once because we're going to need to correct. Let's take a look at our fuel. And in fact, let's go ahead and turn on our RCS because we're going to need that to help us stay straight. Okay, good thing it's a very small maneuver. So I think we'll be okay. So let's get closer to it. But yeah, when something happens like I fall into lava and lose all my gear while hunting wither skeletons, I'm more likely to rage quit when I'm not streaming, and when I am streaming, turn it into, well, this is what we're doing now. We do need the RCS to keep us pointed right. Alright, there we go. That's pretty good, and we have a separation at approach of 357 meters. That's really good. And that is coming up in 28 minutes. So let's warp to here. That will give us about 5 minutes of lead time. Yeah, since trying to reload the game did not save the station, I kind of wish we'd just stayed and watched it shake apart. Supreme Doom says, there was a woman who did handyman repair on public television in Canada when I was a kid. She'd do stuff and have such huge facepalm moments on the show. I sometimes feel like I have channeled her in my craft room. #, only Canadians would know. Very cool. My mom hated watching her because she gave women a bad name. But that sounds like fun, though. Alright. No RCS here. Let's save the monopropellant. We can refuel when we get there, but for now we want to save it because we want to make sure we can dock. Drew says, lurk for a moment. Gotta get the jammies on. Work clothes are annoying me. Enjoy your lurk, Druge. Alright, so yeah, this piece broke off of the hub. Let's ditch it. Lock the camera so that it doesn't keep moving on us. There we go. Undock. Get rid of that piece. And now we want to control from here. Because we're going to be docking this piece. So this will be the third spoke we have recovered. The spokes themselves are intact. They've just all fallen off. The front fell off. Let's see. Yeah. Where is our target? Well, that's a weird graphical glitch. Something happened to the surface of Kerbal, too. Alright, we're 11 kilometers away, but it's not letting me look at the target, so I'm having to search the skies for it. We'll do this, and it's going to point us retrograde to it, so let's do that. There it is, right down there, right below us. Oh, Supreme Doom redeeming Boozinate. All right, here we go. I've got a grapefruit IPA, Grapefruit Sculpin from Ballast Point Brewing in California. One of my favorites. I am indeed parched. Thank you, Supreme Doom. All right. Not a sponsor. Nope, just one of my favorites. Okay, so we're going to come in within 340 meters, so let's go ahead and go to Stability Assist mode and Time Warp and descend slowly upon the station. At least the pieces are intact, so our our rescue ship is fine. I don't believe that there is any damage to it. You can double check. Yeah, it doesn't say, but I think it would. Alright, let's control from here for a bit, actually, because we want to slow down. We really need to slow down. We're going fast. We're not going to crash, but that's annoying. But if you would like to sponsor Mr. Boozinate affiliate, Danny needs it when Shipwreck is here, yes. I would not turn down, as long as it was a good brewery, and not like, I don't know, Miller High Life or something that's not beer. I would totally accept a booze sponsorship. That would be awesome. Alright, we might want to... Our thrust is so off-center with this thing on, that we might want to drop that. Let's see, will this let me look at it? No, I don't know why it won't let me, but it won't let me look at the target. Alright. Here we go. Drew says, much more gooder, as my high school shop teacher used to say. Very nice. Nothing like getting out of work clothes for the day. Oh, yeah, this is gross. We're gonna use up all of our monopropellant if I do it this way. So what we're gonna do is point retrograde, let it stabilize, slow down to a relative stop, and then do this patiently and gently. And then we are going to our promised Duna mission. Got it correct. Yeah, so our center of gravity is not here anymore. It's about right here. So pushing here, we rotate that way. It's this is not within design specs. All right, but that's pretty good. Now I think we can control from here and point at our target. Let's actually activate this camera. Yeah, I like this view. Look directly at the sun. And now we'll turn on our RCS thrusters and get moving. Yeah, this is not ideal. Nothing about this is ideal. And yeah, we're moving in curved paths, so I actually have to aim this way, I believe. No path through space is straight. They're all curves. Yep, watch it curve around there. It's like throwing a baseball and trying to hit another baseball in its arc. That's what we're doing here. And I don't even play baseball. Alright, let's slow down. And we'll choose our docking port now. Yeah, there's stuff docked in each spot. So I think what we're going to do is go around this side, to the right, from where we're facing. And we'll dock on the other side of the RCS tank. So that is our target. Very fitting because we are definitely going to need a top-up of RCS fuel when this is done. Okay, I'm going to turn those off to just do our attitude adjustment here. Okay. Are we going to have enough? That's the question. I think we will, but it's close. Closest margins yet. But yeah, there's our station, Supreme Doom, and look what's missing. The whole hexagon part. My favorite part. It just went to pieces. I'm so sad about it. Nice, we did it. We did it. We did something, that's for sure. Whew. 16 units of monopropellant left. We are cutting it down to the last fume. We have to do this last part a little bit patiently because of that. All right, we are coming in a little bit low. There we go. I think this should be okay. Come on, make contact. We got it? Oh, we're so close. It's not grabbing it. Why isn't it grabbing it? Oh, and we're out of RCS. Come on. There it is. I think we did it. Yep, we did it. All right. Woo, we did it. Okay, that was a lot of stress, but it was also really good. So let's do some fuel transfer here, and then let's get on with the main event, I think. So RCS fuel, we need. Is it these ones here? Yes. It's this one here. Out. Out. Yeah, we used a lot there. There we go. And now, liquid fuel and oxidizer. This is, I believe, the tank. Yep, that's the one. So out. Out. The camera's slightly shifting as we change our center of gravity as we shift the fuel around. Smooth like butter. I don't know if it was that smooth, but it was pretty good. All right. Rescue 3 is completely fueled up. That was a whole lot of stuff. So, those two... Yeah, I think those two are debris that we need to deorbit, and these are pieces that will still need to be brought back in. So those we're going to do later, and between streams I think I'm going to deorbit these. And I think we're also going to wait on taking our scientists to Minimus, because I'm not sure if we're going to have time today. So we're going to go to the Space Center now. I'm gonna have to make a clip or a highlight or something of the disaster, because this was eventful. This has been a very eventful stream. More so than I would have preferred. All right. Let's just see if we've got anything interesting offered. We do. Repair a satellite in orbit of Kerbal. Okay, all we have to do for that is take an engineer there and click repair, and we're good. So that's an easy 66,000 spaceos. Let's take it. And I still don't want to adjust the orbit of that comsat. Thank you very much. All right. So we're gonna make a launch for Duna, and that's in 40 days. So we were supposed to have more launches in between that. So we were supposed to have chewed up the clock a little bit more. We're gonna chew up the clock anyway. Oh, nothing ever goes to plan, but that's okay. All right, there we go. It was just taking a bit to respawn there. And let's see. Let's take a look at our recent mission and see if we want to adjust it maybe. Let's see. The Dres Exploration and Research Probe might be what we want to send. Oh, I have 2 of them. Let's look at this one. I think. Oh yeah, 2. Okay, this is the actual one that we sent last time. Yep, and it's a lot cheaper than the previous version, so that's good. So let's take a look. What would this perform like on Duna? Poorly. And here's the thing about Duna. Duna has an atmosphere, so we don't need... If we want to land something on the surface of Duna, we can use some parachutes. It's a very thin atmosphere, though, so we need a lot of parachutes, or a combination of parachutes and retro thrusters. So I think that this here won't actually be what we want for Duna. Let's see, which stage is this? This is stage 3, it says, up here. Interesting, okay. So I think we want to change what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and keep this upper stage rocket, or this launcher, and let's scrap this and make a fresh mission. I pick it up, and like this. There we go. All right, so we're gonna use the Robodobodyne Hex probe core to start. And let's see, we want an orbiter and we want a lander. So what we want to put on this is all the stuff that we want for an orbiter, which is a relay, batteries, some solar panels, and science experiments. So let's go electrical first. And we can put some of these on the outside. Let's just put 3 of those like that, 3 big batteries. And some solar panels. Let's do our standard, these guys. And let's extend them so we can see what we're going to be working with when they are extended. There we go. And for our relay, let's put something big on there. Right there like that. And let's shift these down so they're not clipping like that. There we go. That looks a lot better. In fact, let's put them the other way. There we go, like that. Put the lights on the bottom. I like that. And so, now we want fuel tanks. Let's just do those and put also 3 of these on. And let's pop an engine on there and see what kind of delta V we get. We can use the Spark, I think, is going to be our best bet. Either that or 3 of the Ant engines. Yeah, that's really good. So that, as is, has more than 3 kilometers per second of delta V. That's quite a lot, actually. Utbrat. Hello, decided to check what is going on here from Twiglets. Welcome. Good to see you here. And there's your fanfare. Thank you very much for the follow. And, damn, man, that radio voice, says Utbrat. Am I pronouncing your name right? I'm not sure. I think you've been here before, haven't you? I recognize your name, I think. So, yes. Awesome. Yeah, good to see you here from Twiglets. Yeah, Twiglet is cool. He's got a radio voice too, man. really deep radio voice. I like it. So now I'm worried about those solar panels maybe being obscured though. So I think I want to extend them outward. Let's put them on a little structural dealy. That's too big. Cubic octagonal strut. Come on. Like, come on, man. You can do this. There we go. Like that. I had to trick it. Wasn't in here. You might know my name from Mark's stream. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I do recognize your name, so that's very cool. Yeah, good to see you here. We're not playing Minecraft, obviously, but this is my other all-time favorite game, Kerbal Space Program. And you missed earlier that my beautiful space station that has been in service for quite a while now met with a little bit of a mishap, we'll say, and may have done a little bit of a shrug, and afterwards ended up in quite a lot of pieces. So, fortunately, no Kerbals were lost in that event. Why is this not letting me attach to this in the way I would like? Gross. Yeah, that's so gross. But, we'll be fixing it, and it will be okay. Alright, I feel better about that not being obscured by parts and getting full sun exposure. I think that will be a good. Or, you know, let's just put them down here. Let's not overthink this. Let's put them right down there, and things will be great. And we can put science experiments on here. So, Utbrat says, I don't mind that. I don't play Minecraft myself primarily. It's Factoria and DSP. What is DSP? I'm familiar with Factorio from other people playing it. I've never played it myself, but I've watched some streams of that. It looks like a fun one. Oh, Dyson Sphere program. Okay, I've heard of that one. I watched one Scott Manley video of that, but I have not played it. It's another one that looks interesting. There are so many games that I would love to have time to play, but never will, if I'm being honest or realistic with myself. All right, so we've got a thermometer on there. Let's do scanning module. Yeah, we can do resource scanning now. Barometer, even though we know we're going to find only vacuum. Or we can put these on the lander. Let's put these on the lander. We can do the experiments in space, and then we can do them again on the surface if we do it that way. Uni is eating a ton of my time. I know how that goes. Fortunately, I am now a retired guy, stay-at-home dad, so that helps a lot with opportunities for this. Okay, let's put you right here. It's going to give us a little bit of torque. But we can offset that. Let's see, maybe what we can do, we want the orbital scanner, I think. Yes. How heavy is that? 0.2 tons, whereas the magnetometer boom is 0.05. Yay, satellite designing, says ProKitman. I love satellite designing. Let's see. We pop this on over here instead of this solar panel. I think this will be okay. Let's deploy it and see how that goes. Yeah, that doesn't clip through anything. I'm satisfied about that. That does give us a whole lot more torque, but if we go into offset mode, turn off snapping, local, and let's just clip it a little bit. Let's deploy it. There we go. Now I can see when it's going to clip. That helps. Brat says, I hope that I don't mess up, to be done in a year now. That is a good hope. What are you studying, if you don't mind me asking? Always interested in that. Okay, now we're down to 0.12 kilonewton meters of torque. Now if I take this and offset it outwards, we can balance this thing. Although that's gonna be derpy, so let's offset this instead. Ooh, gross. Electrical engineering, embedded systems. Ooh, that's interesting. And Druge saying, with headphones on, music is divine, loving the lows and the side stick snare sound. Is it game music or are you playing a playlist? This is game music. In fact, this is royalty-free music by Kevin MacLeod that you might have heard in other streams as well, because he makes this available to everyone. The main theme of this game is was composed, I believe, by someone at the game company. But then most of the music, other than that, they just got royalty-free, although they, of course, paid for it because they're using it commercially, from Kevin MacLeod, who is an absolute champion, I gotta say. I use a lot of his music in some of my Minecraft videos. Alright, we're gonna have to put this magnetometer boom on a cubic octagonal strut, I think. That way I can justify putting it way out there without it feeling like we are just having it hanging off in space. Okay, 0.02 kilonewton meters. That's really good. Now, if I bring it in, nope, we want it out. Okay, that works, and we are perfectly balanced, as everything should be. All right, and extend the boom. That looks nice and cool. This is a unique satellite for me. I don't think I've designed one that looks quite like this. And we still have 2.6 kilometers per second of delta V on this thing, which is great. All right, we're gonna want a lander too. Although maybe we just send. No, I want a lander. Let's do both. So now that does stick out quite a bit. So that might be an issue. Maybe we send this as just a relay. Send resource scanning later because we're not going to be mining the resources yet anyway. So that might be a bit much. Also, nope, it's not a very heavy one. We're only 2.5 tons. Let's see how bad that is for the fairing, because this is really going to be... Oh, yeah, that's... nasty. Come on. Hop on there. There we go. Yep, that sticks out a lot, and it won't... unlike the solar panels, that won't retract more. So, yeah, let's ditch this. Let's bring this back in. Come on. We want you. Don't fight me, please. Don't fight me. There we go. Alright, there we go. And now we're back up to 0.2 kilonewton meters of torque. Let's see. Ubrat says, but oh well, it's bedtime. Would love to stay, but I have to say, good time zone. Enjoy the stream. Did enjoy my short time here. Good to see you here, Ubrat. Hope to see you back again. Have a good evening. All right. Let's see how much I can justify clipping this without it feeling cheaty. Not that far. Certainly not. Maybe that far. And is there something I can put on the other side? Alright, what if I rotate this so that the local control will let me move it the way I'd like? There we go. Yes. Although, is that opposite? It's not quite. To line it up. There we go. That's lined up, I believe. And now I can move this. There we go. So now the communications dish is offset, but it makes the center of mass directly through the axis of the vehicle. So that's exactly what we want. Now we can do 3 of these again. There we go. And retract. So now they're derpy. There we go. All right. I like that. Also, it's lighter weight. It's more compact. So, yeah, that's our satellite. That's our communication satellite. That's going to be our relay around Duna. So now what we want is a separator, a decoupler, just the little guy. And we want to make a tiny little lander. So let's do another Probodobodyne Hex. That's just too fun to say. We want lots of parachutes. Yeah, we're going to do 6 parachutes. This is going to Duna. Yes, indeed. We're going to Duna deliberately for once. Get those out of the way for now. And we want some batteries. Let's put them on the bottom in this case. Science experiments. We're definitely going to want an antenna on this thing too. How big is the Science Junior? That's huge. But that's okay, because we have parachutes and we are going to be putting on a heat shield as well. So that gives us room for some mystery goo. We don't want that many. 2 is good. 2 is more than enough. In fact, let's move them this way. That. Let's see. Let's put a seismic accelerometer on there. Thermometer. And does this have to be moving? Warranty void if you're exposed to air. Atmosphere analysis. Is this better than the barometer? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's put this one on here too. Oh, it's a big guy. So let's do the barometer too. Now, the way these science experiments work, there's usually not a lot of physics on them, so the torque is going to be negligible. The magnetometer boom did torque, but yeah, these are actually 0.005 tons. It's a lot lighter than it looks, so that's fine. And is there anything else we want to put on here other than, you know, communications antenna, of course? I don't think so. All right, so communications, we definitely want to be able to transmit the data home. Let's put one of these on here. Let's put 2 of them on there. There we go. Perfect. And we want heat shield. Okay, let's... Oh, we want to do it. I think so, yes. Let's see, we can bring these back in now. There we go. Concerns about that. I know it won't actually matter, but for me, I'm eyeballing that and thinking, okay, yeah, the shell for the parachute's gonna totally break the antenna. Not how Kerbal works, but how my brain works. So let's see, is this the right size? It sure is. And I think having 6 of those parachutes should be enough. And worst case scenario, this thing does not land successfully, but we have an orbiter, so Alright. Now the trick is, these engines are up here, so that's not ideal. Maybe. Yeah, I don't like that I can't attach anything above the antenna. That's a real design hitch right there. So, but we can get this there. We can head towards atmosphere. Detach this thing and let it land, and then bring this back up into orbit. Or rather, you know, detach these and then have this go to orbit while this proceeds to atmosphere. Spook Doom says, getting supper together for the kids, lurking. I hope you're making something super delicious. Well, as long as they deserve something super delicious. Alright. I'm analyzing this in my head. I'm trying to talk as much as is reasonable about that. But yeah, okay. Not satisfied with that antenna arrangement. So what else have we got? We don't really need something that powerful. Ship does delicious. I do. Here's your food. You won't die. All right. Well, if you guys ever cook for me, Shipwreck gets to do the cooking then. What about this? Ooh, that's cool. I like that one a lot better. That one makes me feel better. And yeah, we got 2 of them, so that's good. You're making pork chops and rice noodles. Sure, it'll be fine with some mini bell peppers on the side. That actually sounds really good. Okay, so that'll be good. Landing gear. Let's put 4 of these guys on here. Like this, and retract. There we go. That's a big guy. So, this is a very experimental landing. It has been a long time since I have been to Duna. So let's actually go ahead and put an engine on this thing. Just something small. So we want coupling. That's too big. We want ED12. There we go. Fuel tanks, just a little guy. This one here, too big. Way too big, oh geez. Yes, just right. And a lightweight engine on here. We don't need a lot. We want to do the poodle. 350 in vacuum, that's really efficient. But it's also huge, so no, we don't want to do the poodle. We want to do carrier. Perfect. It says, be sure you've got enough parachutes and that they're above the center of mass. Yes, these are the parachutes, and they are on the top. So I think they will absolutely do. All right, that has 340 meters per second delta V. That's a lot less than I was hoping. Although... I put this low. Oh, that just takes it off. So yeah, it's going to be more than that because this thing is not going to have to push this because these are going to separate and then this is going to go. So let's, just in case, let's just double the size of the fuel tank. Yep, and that is for Duna capture. And this thing on its own has 3.5 kilometers per second, or 3 kilometers per second, so of delta V, so this will be fine. And a big ol' honkin' antenna, so we will stay in contact for sure. I say that, watch us lose contact. Alright, this is our experimental Duna mission. So, we need a coupler on the bottom. And pop it in the fairing, which we need to adjust the size of a little bit. That's derpy. Let's fix that. Give it a nice curved top. There we go. That's better. Alright, that's pretty. Okay, so we've got this. Let's lower it. The spotlight's just up above the ground. Careful, buddy. That's hot. So we got that engine. Checking our staging here. Stage separation. Upper stage. The fairing, we want that on its own stage. There we go. And then the separator there. That engine, separator there. Those engines. Okay, so yeah, we have 2 spacecraft here. And we're not going to see them land today, but we are going to give them a launch. And we have lots of Delta V, so yeah, we're good. And I think we'll be okay launching a little early. So we're going to make this. We're gonna call it derp again. Duna Exploration and Research Probe. Low Kerbal orbit launch, or all the way on its interplanetary trajectory. I'm thinking start it on low Kerbal orbit and then plan the transfer. So are we gonna save that? And let's go ahead and move the clock forward and then come back and pick that thing up. And I'm gonna hydrate myself here because my voice is going. I've been streaming longer lately. I've been upping it to about 3 hours, and I feel good about it. Especially when a disaster happens like today. Absolutely hilarious. There we go. Boop. All right, let's warp to sunrise here. And let's let a few days go by and then check mission control for new contracts. So we had 38 days when we started here. Rescue Gilbold. Let's go ahead and take it. Alright, and I'm actually going to mute the mic for just a minute and basically cough button here. There we go, that's better. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, the pieces of the space station are spreading out in Kerbal orbit, but that is okay. We know where they are. They're not coming back down. We can go pick them up. Map 6 asteroids endangering Kerbal with a Sentinel infrared telescope. We happen to have one in orbit. And that pays pretty decently. You know what? If we do this with the advance, I think we can afford to upgrade our tracking station and have enough left over to safely do some launches. So let's take that. Yeah, we have 800,000 spaceos. And upgrading this costs 560,000 spaceos. That gives us about 240,000 left over. That I feel comfortable with. So let's do this so that we get unknown object tracking. Yep, 240,000 spaceos. And now finally, finally we'll be able to analyze the data. And Pro Kitman redeeming stretch. Thank you, Kit. I do need a stretch. Here we go. Oh yeah, my neck was getting a bit of a crick in it. That is better. Okay. My back is doing a whole lot better. I actually have it iced up right now. But did 5 days of a steroid supplement that did wonders for reducing the inflammation. And taking some Tylenol too, and doing some stretches has been helping. So yeah, I'm doing a whole lot better, but yeah, stretch is appreciated. Yeah, so let's take a look and see if we see any objects. Oh. That looks like something from a contract that they want me to take a look at, but it looks like it's going to be gone. That's all right. So, I'm not sure we're going to see the unknown objects. Oh, here they are. They're toggled off. Unknown objects. So yeah, we're going to get some information on these coming in. And let's see, what does this say? Message. Unable to transmit. Okay, that's fine. That's just our surface science on Minmus. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to start getting some of that data, and it's going to pay off big. And hopefully in the future, in the not too distant future, I would love to capture an asteroid. I've never done that. Bring it into Kerbal orbit and make it a fuel depot. Mine it for fuel. We don't have that tech yet. All right, so 29 days. Let's go a few more days, and then let's do our launch. We can do it early, and it's fine. It's only slightly less optimal. Go to 24 days before our transfer window. There we go. Let's check this again. Yeah, it's not offering us more contracts. We will need to complete some contracts before we start really getting more. And that is okay with me. All right, let's go into the vehicle assembly building and pick up our Duna exploration and research probe. And let's roll it out to the pad. As soon as it loads. There we go. Launch. And this is exciting. Sounds like my my kids are up from their nap. They had quite an adventure today, going to my orchestra rehearsal, and then we took them to the Lego store to take advantage of the Star Wars sale. All right, so now this thing, we have to be careful with our angle of attack, because we don't have any stabilizers on the back, but this thing is fine as long as we're not too aggressive on that. So let's bring up our flight recorder. We don't need this. Altitude, acceleration, dynamic pressure. And let's see. Throttle up. Stability assist is on. And let's see, we have cameras on this thing, don't we? Yep, there's our view from in the fairing. There's our view down the side of the rocket. Let's do this one. All right, we are go for launch. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of our Arcus 2 medium launch vehicle carrying our Duna exploration and research probe. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Everything is looking nominal. A bit aggressive on the pitch maneuver here, but I think it'll be fine as long as we're not too aggressive correcting it. We are supersonic, and we have maximum aerodynamic pressure. Let's just point prograde here. Let's let the computer take this. Feeling a little bit nervous about that. This isn't a terribly expensive mission, but still. Do a little bit of pitching back up as the atmosphere thins. There we go. I feel better about this now. We're bringing our apoapsis up. Excellent. All right. And we are coming up on main engine cutoff. Stage separation. Second engine start. And look at that view. I love that. There we go. Love how the fire effects come right through the fairing here. They just render right through. Okay, we want to pitch up now. There we go. Pitching up to 30 degrees. And fairing separation is confirmed. It is not safe to open the parachutes. That is correct. We'll try not to open the parachutes on the way up. That would be not normal. That would be classified as an anomaly on launch. All right, let's go up to about 250 kilometer periapsis and circularize, and then plan our transfer. There we go. Would you say it's an oddity? I might say it's an oddity. I might say that. Fired. Ridiculous. Let's get a little bit closer to apoapsis here. There we go. This is a decently powerful engine for an upper stage. That's a good looking launch right there. Look at that ship. Alright, we have a circular orbit. So, let's choose our target, which is Duna. And yeah, we want to burn out here. So let's add a maneuver. Ship is near. Look at that, ship. Wow. Okay, now you're fired twice. Don't know what you're fired from, but you're definitely fired. Alright, and I think we might be able to do directly from here. Turn off those unknown objects. They're in my way. I turned them off. Fine. They're still there. Whatever. Okay, and we're basically on plane, so Duna is not exactly in an inclined orbit. Alright. That's pretty good. Let's tweak that a bit. And yeah, it's only going to cost us a few meters per second delta V because we did early. And let's see, doing a periapsis. Yeah, but we can correct that later. So it's going to take us 414 days to get there. So this is the efficient but not the quick approach. But that is okay. At least this is a deliberate launch. The next thing we send up there will probably be a survey scanner to look for resources that we can mine. So this maneuver is coming up in 18 minutes, 19 minutes. Let's go ahead and warp close to it. And we can do it all with the current upper stage. Yeah, we have way more delta V than we need, which is how I like to play it. All right, 1.5 minutes away from the maneuver. It's a 50-second burn at full thrust, so we're going to aim for about 25 seconds ahead of the maneuver node to start the burn. All right, we'll burn in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and second engine start. Well, the plan originally was to pluck a battery off of a ship that we didn't need it on anymore, and take Elric the engineer to the moon to add that battery to a satellite for a contract. That would have paid off very well, and then we would have continued on to Minmus, where we would drop off 2 scientists at our outpost, the SMRT outpost, and that also would complete a contract, which would pay very well. Instead, the station exploded, so we've skipped those for now. We'll do those next time, and we're just doing this Duna mission for now. Along with picking up some of the pieces of our poor space station. All right, there we go. That's that maneuver completed. And Kit, you weren't here for this, but I showed the contract for the station. It had that ridiculous requirement of 6,000 units of liquid fuel on it. So I actually edited the contract, the save file. So what we've done, basically, where is it? Surface outpost on Minmus, yeah. I renegotiated with the company. So we have removed the requirement of 6,000 units of liquid fuel and also reduced the payout from 550,000 spaceos to 400,000 spaceos. So a significant reduction in the contract reward. And I feel like that is pretty fair. So now the only thing we need to do is add some scientists to the thing. So there's 1 scientist aboard now, and 2 more will need to be landed there. Of the station that blew up. Nope, not the station that blew up. The station that is landed on Minmus. Yeah, they wanted 6,000 units of liquid fuel there. Not liquid fuel and oxygen, just liquid fuel. A huge fuel tank that would be doing literally nothing. So it's a dumb requirement, and so we renegotiated. All right, we are leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence in 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and deploy our solar panels while we are still thinking about it. I don't have these ones on an action group, but that's fine. There we go. The station that blew up. How rude to remind me of that. It's too soon. Too soon, Kit. Alright, we are now in orbit of the sun. And we have an encounter with Duna in 411 days, 1 hour and 49 minutes. So we're going to want to do a little bit of a correction burn so that we can get closer in. Let's do it at the apoapsis here. So let's add a maneuver here. And that maneuver is just so that I can go into the alarm clock and set a new alarm. So Duna transfer window, let's go ahead and cancel that. We are already on course to Duna. And create alarm, we want... Actually, apoapsis. Yeah, we can just do an apoapsis alarm. Okay, so... And we'll name it Duna Correction Burn 1. And add the alarm. There we go. So let's remove that because that's nothing. And so in 345 days, we will be revisiting this mission and tightening our approach to Duna and fine-tuning it, seeing where we want to actually approach. I'd like something close to a polar orbit. And we will then be deploying the lander. But that's going to be in a few streams. So the next thing we've got is one of our correction burn for Drez. And then the next launch we have is for Eve. I'll be adding more transfer window alarms on here soon. So I think that's where we're going to leave it now. So Yeah, our poor station. I'm very sad about our station that exploded. But it is what it is, and we will rebuild. We will definitely rebuild. In fact, let's transfer to that station now and take a look at its current state. Oh, what an unexpected event. And that is not it. Where did you go? I clicked on the wrong thing apparently. There are a couple of engines just floating out there. That's from the upgrade, I think, that we did to the thing. Arcadia Station ship, Arcadia Station plane. Here, okay, switch to. Yeah, it took me to the wrong thing because I misclicked apparently. But this is, as soon as it loads, yep, our partially reassembled station. I mean, it still looks pretty cool, but it's not what it was, and it will be. It will be again. We will rebuild. We will build this station right back up to where it was. But yep, I'm gonna call it there. Thanks to everyone who joined, and thanks Utbrat for the follow. Let's see. Is there anyone I know that is? It looks like you salvaged a decent amount. Yeah, I got 3 of the 6 spokes back. So we're gonna get the other 3 spokes back, and that's it. We're gonna deorbit the rest of the debris, and I'm gonna need to launch a new hub. So let's see you, Siskit. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for witnessing the aftermath of the disaster. Let's see who is online here. I don't think anyone that I know is playing Kerbal Space Program. Oh, Shipwreck. Shipwreck is streaming. How to Minecraft or not. Okay, let's raid Shipwreck. I've never gotten to raid Shipwreck. There he is, playing Minecraft. All right, and I have a command for the raid message too. There it is. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday for more Minecraft, on Wednesday for more retro gaming with Descent, gaming, and next week with further repair of this poor station here. All right, goodbye.